This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all, this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. I'm Jeff. I'm Tori. I'm in for Jeff. We're starting today with the big announcement on the very first Golden Bachelorette ever. It's going to be 61-year-old grandmother and school administrator Joan Vassos. She appeared on the Golden Bachelor, but she left early on to help her daughter, who is dealing with some postpartum depression. The Golden Bachelor was a ratings hit for ABC last year, but now lots of fans, including this one, seem to be against the senior dating series because the Golden Bachelor Gary and his wife Teresa announced their divorce just 3 months after getting married during an elaborate wedding on ABC. Some people are even saying that Gary has tarnished the entire show. They're not even interested in watching another failed attempt at finding love. And get this, a recent New York Times article asked the question, why would anyone agree to go on a dating show with such a terrible track record? After over 40 combined seasons of the Bachelor franchise, only 8 couples have stayed together. Is the Bachelor and Bachelorette series dead?
Erica, thoughts?
I think that the concept is fundamentally flawed. If you look at how The Bachelor first started, it was men who were The Bachelor, but they were also nominated based on all of their achievements and where they were in their lives. It felt a little bit more stable, although and now you have people who want to get their Instagram followers up. They want some type of Insta fame, and they want to basically monetize their newfound following in order to get the life that the original Bachelors seemingly had.
Right.
The other thing is you're talking about a reality TV competition that a person is the prize. That, as Al would say, that dog don't hunt. It really don't.
It doesn't.
No person should be a prize of any show.
So would you consider maybe axing this franchise?
I think it's still a fun ride.
Okay.
Now, personally, I liked Joan. I think Joan is lovely, and she's clearly very beautiful.
She's very pretty.
But my vote was for Leslie.
Leslie. Can we see Leslie? Do we have Leslie?
Leslie was the runner-up of Gary's season.
Okay.
And the reason why I think that she would have made a better candidate is Joan left because her daughter had just had a baby. And I think that that's great and it's admirable, obviously. Leslie seems to be in a place in her life where she's ready to up and go out for adventures. That's the reason why Gary and Leslie made a little bit more sense.
Right.
A little bit more sense to me than Gary and the other one.
Right.
Leslie would likely move to wherever her new fiance or husband is. That's what you need, somebody who's a little bit more flexible.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Al?
I
think flexibility is a good idea. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was listening to what Erica said, and it made me kind of think about you're talking about when you win a person as a prize at the end of a show, that's not going to go well. But I think a lot of times when these shows originally came out, there was a totally different trajectory. You think about the first couple American Idols and the stars that came out of there, stars that are still famous today.
Yeah. Absolutely. Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood.
Absolutely. And so they were like, this is our show. We launched stars. And then along comes somebody like William Hung. Remember him? And he came, and he was not a very good singer, but he got famous because he was kind of lovable and saying things and not singing off key. And then so the next few contestants were like, well, I might not win, but I'm going to get famous that way.
Right.
And then the show realized it's kind of not about them at all. It's about the judges. And now you have shows like The Voice where you can't name one winner. You just know the judges. So from American Idol to just the judges, I don't know anybody that's been on The Voice. These shows kind of dictate to us who the contestants are going to be based on what the results of the positive or negative things that come from winning or losing the show. So I think that's what we're dealing with the Golden Bachelor, and I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with the second season. Are they going to lock these people in and say you're contractually obligated to move to this city?
Or there's a bonus if you move?
Because if they don't, if it tanks again, Tor,
no,
we're never talking about this again.
I'm not going to watch. I'm not wasting my time, okay?
We've been watching the whole time.
We're not watching again.
40 seasons.
I mean-
now because Gary didn't work out with what's her face, and then we're never going to watch again.
Line in the sand.
Line in the
Gary,
sand. There you
line
go.
in the sand. Gary, you ruined it. We talked a lot about this last week also. The Netflix roast, remember, of Tom Brady. It was a big success for the streamer, and it got a ton of headlines. But get this, it turns out Tom has some regrets. Here's what he said on the Pivot podcast. Take a look.
I loved when the jokes were about me. I thought they were so fun. I didn't like the way that it affected my kids. So it's the hardest part about like the bittersweet aspect of when you do something that you think is one way and then all of a sudden you realize I wouldn't do that again because of the way that it affected actually the people that I care about the most in the world. It's a good lesson. Like for me as a parent, I'm going to be a better parent as I go forward because of it.
What do we think of Tom's regrets? And one big glaring question is, could he not have foreseen this?
Yeah, I was about to say,
affecting his
it kind of
children?
reminds me of that line in Wedding Singer when she said, I never loved you. And he said, well, that would have been good information yesterday.
Right.
You know, I look at this and I'm a little thrown off, Erica, and I want to know your thoughts on this because when a joke was made about Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, Tom Brady stood up from his seat and with expletives leading into it said, don't ever say that again. But none of that was said when somebody took a shot at his kids or his wife. I'm not saying this, man. I believe he loves his kids and his ex-wives, but the visual ain't good, and your kids are going to be like, "What's up, Dad?"
Well, yeah, I think this is a tricky subject for anyone who's co-parenting. You know, you're not with the other parent of your children. You have to understand that children see themselves through their parents. So if you're taking a shot at my mama, you're taking a shot at me. If you're not protecting my mother as my father, then you're not protecting me. So it all comes back to the children and the reflection that they have in either parent. The other thing about it is maybe Tom wasn't in the right state of mind to even be making decisions like this. If you think about in terms of doing the roast, I've known several athletes, some of my family, some very close, where they have done professional sports and all the things leading up to it for 20, 30, Tom over 40 years. He doesn't know who he is. A part of that interview, he talked about not feeling a balance, like he doesn't have a schedule. He has to redefine who he is. So to jump right into something as epic as one of the best roasts, I mean, in terms of like logistics, iconic roast, but making that decision like now may not have been the time. I know people who have wrecked 7 motorcycles between their retirement and this point in their career.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot going on there.
I think maybe a little bit of a fumble.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Look, Tori, that was good.
Thank you. He went to Michigan. I'll always love him. But at this point, I think you might be right. You got to be ready for a roast. You got to be settled. You got to be cemented in, and you got to have your whole family on notice. It's going to go like that. I don't think that's what happened here. Coming up on DBL, celebrity chef Aaron Sanchez is telling us all about his new show on Hulu. And the Cannes Film Festival kicks off with lots of glam. We've got all the standout looks for Al Fashion Jackson to look at, from Heidi Klum's radiant red gown to Jane Fonda's jumpsuit. Welcome back to DBL. So stars are making a splash at the Cannes Film Festival in the south of France this week.
I was there.
You were not. You were here next to me.
Oh.
Anya Taylor-Joy arrived on Monday in this oversized hat, and it looked like the ultimate movie star. She just signed autographs while walking. Oh my gosh.
Wait, were those people props or are those real autographs?
Real. Oh, I'm so into this. She can do it. Later, she was seen wearing this sheer white gown paired with another straw hat around her neck.
I love that.
Don't you love
because
that?
she's owning it. This is glamour. Stop trying to relate to me, the common person. Like, be like really glamorous and disgusting about it. I love it.
Completely. That's where you do it.
Yes.
On the red carpet, Heidi Klum made a bold statement in bright red. Look at that.
Digging it.
At the second act film premiere. Good Lord.
One of the dresses of the year.
I mean, the movement.
Waist.
Look at the movement, Erica. Look at the train. Look at the legs.
Mullet.
Klum.
With the train.
With the train. All right,
beautiful.
Jane Fonda, we can't forget about the Fonz, who was 86, wore this bejeweled jumpsuit with an animal print cape. I don't love the cape, but I like the jumpsuit.
And I love her hair in this, Erica.
Yeah. The jumpsuit is really, I'm glad that women of a certain age are embracing the jumpsuit because it's taking it from the pantsuit that became a little dowdy.
Yes.
And now we're seeing more of a cinched waist. We're seeing the elongation of the legs. I love Hollywood, old Hollywood hair.
Me too.
Beautiful.
Good diamonds, good jewelry too.
Yeah.
Cannes jury president Greta Gerwig wore this low-cut, oh my God, she looks fantastic, sequin gown. By the way, if anyone ever thinks they're not gonna make it, she got denied from almost every grad school she ever applied to, and look at her now.
Yeah,
guys.
I like Greta. I love the hair. That wet look is super in.
Yeah.
I don't like how you're losing everything from the drop
down.
Yeah, from the low drop breast line down.
Would you like to see a belt?
Yes, I need something to break it up.
Nice
it's giving me like a little bit of a sack, and I think that she needs to step into like her moment as
I agree with you. I don't like her fashion. Up till now, this is the first I'm interested.
Yeah.
Interesting, okay? She posed with her fellow jury members, including Oscar nominee Lily Gladstone. I want to take it, Lily. Looking beautiful in sequins. Oh, she is owning.
I want them both to own the moment a little bit more.
I agree.
It feels a little background.
It feels retro, those sequins.
Right, but at least Lily's is two-toned.
Yeah.
And so there's something else to draw your eye. I feel you what you're saying with with Greta Gerwig. So I like them both, and I'm glad sequins are coming back.
Yeah,
Let's go or mid to early 70s.
Yeah, you're right. All right, but it was this one, Messi the dog from the film Anatomy of a Fall. Guys, this dog is amazing. Who stole the show? He hammed it up by doing some tricks on the red carpet for the fans. I am not kidding. It was my favorite movie of the year. And by the way, this dog was one of my favorite actors of the year. He is vital to the story, and the way that he acts is incredible. So I highly recommend watching it.
The dog doesn't know where it is.
The dog knows where he is. He's highly trained. Highly.
Okay.
Highly. Meryl Streep was presented with an honorary Palme d'Or at Cannes. Earlier, she arrived on the red carpet wearing this white wrap dress. See, I think that's lovely. For the south of France, I think that's beautiful. While accepting her award, she actually got emotional, remembering her first Cannes appearance 35 years ago. Watch this.
35 years ago, when I was here for the first time, I was already a mother of 3. I was about to turn 40, and I thought that my career was over. And that was not an unrealistic expectation for actresses at that time. I'm just so grateful that you haven't gotten sick of my face and you haven't gotten off of the train.
What do you guys think about now? I mean, I remember when I was in Hollywood and I was 28 and I was like, oh my God, being 40, I would be out.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be dead.
No, I was told that.
Yeah.
And I was in radio. People didn't even see me. Yeah.
You sound 40. Get out.
You're doing 40-ish references.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
But I think things have changed.
No, I think, well, first of all, there's so many different lanes for people, and people don't have to depend on the opinions of 1 or 2 people that are sitting in some unknown office somewhere.
That's a great point.
Dictating how everything works.
That's
so
right.
the more that the world is opened and we make decisions about what we want to see and hear, the more opportunities there are for people.
I like that. Coming up on DBL, celebrity chef Aaron Sanchez is here to tell us all about the new season of Master Chef. Welcome back. Latin America is known for culture, passion, and of course, food. Earlier, we spoke with Aaron Sanchez about his new show, Talking Sabor, and the newest season of MasterChef. Check it out. Aaron, welcome to DBL.
Thank you so much for having me. I've just been listening intently to all your beautiful conversation. You guys are so well informed and so eloquent, and I just want to say, wow, a big fan. So thank you for having me.
Claim that for our reel. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right, Chef, your new show, Talking Sabor, takes the audience on a cultural experience to meet the people behind Latin cuisine across the country. What inspired you to take on this project?
Well, the idea is always finding inspiration. As a chef, you have to always kind of go sometimes back to roots and really honor a lot of these grandmas and these family-owned institutions and restaurants and make sure that they're highlighted. And I thought the best way to do that is why not bring a co-host with me along that we can kind of experience this adventure together.
Wow.
And so I kind of, went about it by finding a lot of Latin celebrities that I really, and influencers and people that are making moves that I admire, and that was really sort of the jux behind the whole show, Talking Sabor.
What is the biggest misconception about Latino culture?
That's a very good question. I think well, first of all, it's not all Mexican. It's not chili peppers. It's not like, all of that kind of stuff. The way I look at Latin culture, it's a beautiful blend of the new world. So we're talking about, different flavors and different rhythms, and also the food that plays a big part in it. There's a lot of commonality between ingredients, whether it's in Mexico, Central, South America, the Caribbean. All of these ingredients kind of meld, and there's a lot of similarities. So I just want people to kind of understand that with respect to the food, that there's a lot of similarities and it's just not one homogenized thing.
I'm going to learn so much.
Well, you're hitting hot spots in Houston, Miami, Los Angeles, and New York. Can you tell me how the food changes from place to place?
That's a great question. Well, there's a lot of different regionality as far as where there's enclaves of different kinds of Latin communities, right? So I live, for instance, in New Orleans, but we have a huge Honduran community there, probably one of the largest in the country, and Nicaraguan. And then you go to somewhere, like Chicago, and then it's straight up Mexican, and then but from different parts of Mexico. Mm-hmm. So really, we did a deep dive, and then of course New York with all of its Caribbean, Latin, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cubano, all of those good things. So it's really just depends on where these enclaves come, and at one point a big community, emigrated there, and they just set up shop, and then more people came, and that's kind of how it went down.
I love it. So you got to hear so many stories while filming. Was there one that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, we went to Los Socios, and there was a wonderful restaurant with this great guy named Jesus, who's a comedian and an author and a dad. And he wrote this beautiful children's cookbook, and it just really resonated to me as a dad, and trying to have that beautiful balance and harmony in life where you're being career focused, but also trying to be a great parent. And it's just his story for me really spoke to me.
That's the key. We only have a minute left, so I got to ask you this before you go. The latest season of MasterChef is coming up, so I have to ask you, what is your favorite part about starting every season?
Well, thank you. I mean, for me, MasterChef is an unbelievable anomaly. 14 seasons that we've been part of this unbelievable journey. It's the mentoring. It's the teaching. You guys spoke about teachers. I have at my dad's side of the family, all educators. My girlfriend's a nurse. You're right. Our most valuable community is our youth. So the fact that the word chef means teacher. And so the fact that I get to teach and I get to mentor, and no matter what happens, if they win, lose, or draw, they're walking out there with valuable life lessons and also culinary lessons. So that allows me to really sleep well at night, knowing that they're going to walk away there with a bigger love for food. And that's why MasterChef is so special. So
wonderfully said. Wow, Aaron, thank you so much for joining us today. DBL Nation, you can catch Talking Sabor now on Hulu, and you can catch the new season, MasterChef, on Fox starting May 29th. Thank you
Congrats
again.
on the new season, brother.
Congratulations on everything. Thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. If you're looking for ways to help your skin this summer, take a bath. Experts say a warm bath at night opens your pores, releases your toxins that could have accumulated throughout the day. I've always wanted to sit in a bath, right, with one of those things.
That goes across it?
Yeah.
Almost
With
like
a
breakfast
glass
in
of
bed,
wine.
but breakfast, you know, the little...
yeah.
A bath caddy.
I have a caddy.
You do? What if you showed up and I was just in your bath?
Weirder
Call
things
the
have happened
police?
with you.
It's true. You wouldn't be weirded out by that at all.
I would be absolutely weirded out. You don't use. I don't know if I'd let anybody but my partner use the bathtub. Like the bathtub's it's an
intimate?
unsaid. Yes, hop in the shower, bro. But like, why are you that comfortable in my house?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've had some moments. Tori was in my bed.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
that.
I've been in that karaoke room alone.
Well, she was trying to like figure out if she was gonna get the same one, so I let her try it out.
It was very
Yeah.
nice. If you want to spruce up your bathroom this summer, Jacuzzi can help you do it the right way. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched, stress-free remodeling process. Call 1-800-996-0017 or visit jacuzzibathremodel.com. I really got to say, I am a shower person, but I might be going bath this summer.
Okay.
Okay.
During the
I know
summer,
you guys
such a terrible
felt the-
time to
I know.
Need to tell the country that.
to tell you all. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye.